And the fact that an upstanding and righteous gentleman like yourself is in that position with the only thing trying to be righteous in our lane is just more machinations of the devil.
You know what, man? I'm glad you at least, addressed it, because...
I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, Katt.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror.
Feel better about herself when they come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get your old up there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Dang. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her. Listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart.
It is a shakedown. It is a targeted attack, but Shannon needed to have some accountability because he gave them something to shake down. He gave them something to target by making poetry.
I didn't want to date a white woman because I was scared, not because I didn't think they're great. Don't get it twisted, but because of the real fear of what could happen. What kind of trouble might I end up in? Could this turn out like something from a Jonathan B. episode? I had my reasons, but let's break that down. This isn't just about a little banter or someone talking out of turn. No, this is a targeted attack, a shakedown in broad daylight, and the man in the hot seat, Shannon Sharpe, needs to be held accountable. But here's the kicker. He gave them something to target. He made choices that set this whole thing off.
If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you.
Is Shannon Sharpe the next Justin Baldoni? Well, the NFL legend and broadcaster is definitely taking a play from Justin's playbook. After a $50 million lawsuit of SA, he is now dropping a treasure trove of text messages that he says declares his innocence.
Now let's introduce a different character, Katt Williams, a man who can start a fire with just a spark. And trust me, when he lit up Instagram Live with his monologue, it wasn't just a joke, it was a bombshell. As he dives into Shannon Sharpe's $50 million lawsuit, he's not just making jokes. He's carving through the narrative like a surgeon.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z.
Katt, because he told me. He said they're going to come for you. And I was like, Katt, come on, Katt. I mean, I just.
Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
A random Instagram Live, right? At first, maybe a few hundred people watching, thinking it's another Katt Williams moment, but then boom, in just 17 minutes, over 230,000 people tuned in. What triggered this? The algorithm caught on, viewers were captivated, tagging their friends, pushing this live stream to viral levels. That's the magic of real-time drama.
The text message says, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're screwing me.
Katt didn't just riff on the lawsuit, he broke it down like a law professor in front of a packed lecture hall. And here's the thing, he didn't just make fun of Shannon, he made points, serious ones. He talked about the difference between compensatory and punitive damages, something that would have sailed over most people's heads. But he made it crystal clear. Let's rewind. A woman, Jane Doe, claims misconduct during a high-profile retreat, allegations that could cost Shannon Sharpe $50 million in damages.
And you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
Not only is this a lawsuit, it's a war for reputation, for legacy. What started as a personal matter is now a brand-damaging ordeal, with ripple effects that could alter Sharpe's entire career. By morning, Katt's words were everywhere. Clips were all over social media, each one more shocking than the last. People were laughing, sure, but were they also listening? Maybe. Katt didn't just talk about Shannon's potential downfall, he brought in the corporate world, media strategies, and more. His roast became a masterclass in the politics of reputation. Back in the offices of ESPN, things weren't as calm as they looked on the surface. Behind the scenes, executives were sweating bullets. They didn't want to add fuel to the fire, but they also knew that silence would make them look complicit. The media was in a tight spot. Do they engage and risk deepening the narrative, or do they stay quiet and hope it blows over? The decision they made wasn't just a simple choice. It was a calculated risk. They knew that by choosing not to directly address Katt's live stream, they weren't just ignoring his commentary, they were also shaping the narrative. The decision to pivot immediately to the NFL draft on air was an attempt to change the subject, but the audience wasn't going to let them. Social media was on fire, and not even ESPN could outrun the wave that Katt had set in motion. The public reaction was equally divided. Some viewers rallied behind Katt, seeing him as the voice of truth in an era where celebrities and brands are held to different standards. Others, loyal to Shannon, felt betrayed by what they viewed as a senseless attack, fueled by comedy rather than substance. But behind the scenes, the true challenge for the network wasn't just managing its public image, it was figuring out how to handle its internal sponsors and partners. What if brands started pulling back due to the controversy? What if the sponsorship dollars started to dry up? As much as they wanted to ignore Katt's comments, they were unable to sidestep the reality. The influence of social media and viral content is something that can't just be contained. It's a beast that keeps evolving, and the media companies knew it. This wasn't just a legal battle. It was a full-on business crisis. Shannon Sharpe, once the face of several lucrative endorsement deals, suddenly found himself under a microscope. Within hours of Katt's live stream, brands began quietly pulling their association. Sponsors, who had once lined up to have their products tied to a Hall of Fame athlete, now found themselves reconsidering. What happens when a star athlete's reputation is called into question, especially on the back of such a highly publicized legal case? The stakes weren't just personal, they were financial. The ramifications of this drama went far beyond legal fees and courtroom battles. Sharpe's carefully curated public persona, which had earned him millions in endorsement deals, was now under fire. A high-end apparel brand quietly removed his image from its website. A health supplement company, who once boasted about his athletic physique, deleted their promotional posts featuring Sharpe. The idea here wasn't just about a lawsuit, it was about the moral implications of the lawsuit itself. Brands are incredibly sensitive to public perception, and the moment something even remotely controversial attaches itself to a celebrity, the floodgates open. The fear of alienating customers or facing backlash becomes too much. As much as these brands might have wanted to continue their relationship with Sharpe, they were now questioning whether their customers were ready to forgive him. But here's the twist. While Shannon's brand took a hit, Katt Williams found himself riding a wave of success. His own career saw a resurgence as his live stream went viral. Concert ticket sales surged. Streams of his older specials spiked. In a way, the controversy was a net gain for Katt. He had managed to turn a legal disaster into a career boost. For him, it wasn't just about having the last word, it was about leveraging the media's insatiable hunger for scandal to his own advantage. And for Sharpe, every hour without resolution only added to the uncertainty about his brand's future. The business world was holding its breath. What we're witnessing right now isn't just a legal drama unfolding in courtrooms, it's the collision of entertainment, law, and social media at its finest. The influence of digital platforms today cannot be overstated. Where once the media controlled the narrative, where news outlets, anchors, and print publications held the keys to what the public saw, now it's the people who drive the conversation. The power is in the hands of influencers, comedians, and ordinary people with smartphones. Katt Williams, who is a seasoned comedian, understood this better than anyone. He knew that by combining humor with live commentary, he could manipulate the narrative. He didn't just make jokes about Shannon Sharpe's case. He turned it into an intellectual commentary on the legal system, media manipulation, and the branding of celebrities. And the world was watching. This wasn't just about throwing shade at a competitor. This was a commentary on the fractured relationship between public figures and the media. Katt highlighted how corporations, big and small, will bend over backwards to distance themselves from controversy, regardless of the individual's innocence or guilt. This saga underscores a larger conversation about the power of social media. Today's media environment doesn't care about polished narratives or neatly packaged stories. What people want is raw, unfiltered, and most importantly, immediate content. In this age, the story doesn't wait for the news cycle to catch up. It moves at the speed of the internet. And what's fascinating is how this also affects the court of public opinion. As viral content spreads, it influences real-world decisions about endorsements, legal strategies, and public perceptions. It's an entirely new kind of media ecosystem where the audience is as much a part of the story as the celebrities themselves. The question becomes, who controls the narrative? Is it the court of law, or is it the viral video that keeps replaying in millions of living rooms? As the saga continues to unfold, we will be watching to see how these competing forces